Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the RXFL. Glad to have you guys here, and we're going to get ready for, hopefully, I assume is going to be a good one. You got two of the best teams in the league, and we're going to go through all the stats and standings and all that in just a minute, but we're going to conclude Week 16 all in this streaming session. I'm going to do a quick mic check. Yes, mic sounds good. All right. All in this streaming session here. We're going to wrap up Week 16 of the RXFL. We're going to preview Week 17. We don't know how many games there's going to be in Week 17 because there's not the normal primetime games that we commit to. So it's going to be kind of open, and we're going to go after the playoff games that are available to us. And we're also going to play a Week 17 game here, all in this streaming session. So over the next 5 days, if you guys are watching on YouTube, you're going to be getting the conclusion of Week 16. You get the preview of Week 17. You'll get the first game of Week 17. And I'll say here on YouTube, going through the month of September, it's going to be a lot of RXFL action as we wrap up this first season. And then once we finish that up, we'll dump into a variety of other stuff. We'll get back to our Denver Broncos franchise, get a couple more seasons of that, try to get done with NBA Playground Season 1, maybe get some more baseball back in the mix here, another season of Red Wings hockey. But for right now, as we jump into it, we got a pretty intense matchup here, and it's going to be a possible preview of the national championship game here in the National Conference. You can see where things stand. It's going to be number 1 versus number 3, Mexico City versus Portland. And for both of these teams, there's not really a lot of playoff supremacy here on the line. If you're kind of looking at it, there's only 2 weeks left in the season, and both Mexico City and Portland have clinched a first-round bye in the postseason. That's good for them. What the opportunity holds here for Mexico City in this one is there's a possibility, if the math adds up correctly here, and you see the winning streaks there, 9 in a row for the Lumberjacks, 4 in a row for the Golden Eagles. If the Golden Eagles win, they'll move to 12-3, and that'll drop Portland down to 12-2. And then going into next week, there's a possibility that if Portland loses again in Week 17 and Mexico City wins, then because of the head-to-head, both teams would finish the year at 13-3, and that would give Mexico City home field advantage throughout the playoffs, meaning if these two teams meet again in a couple of weeks in the national championship game, then it would be hosted in Mexico City. So that's kind of the importance of this one you're looking at, and you're looking at, boy, number 1 versus number 3 in two powerhouses here. But there's some stuff riding on this. We have 2 big games as well that we know. Dublin and LA is going to be a big one as far as playoff supremacy here. Now, this one was flexed, and I don't think I can make I can't make the sky dark. There's no, option like in MLB The Show. So it's going to be a light sky because this is technically not a Monday Night Football game, but we flexed it into the Monday night position. But you know what? We'll say that we're just going to say that it's, we're playing in a different time zone. It's an earlier kick. So that's what we're going with here, and we'll stick to it. So, okay, we shuffled it up and we landed, because we got a couple different pants options, but we got the classic all brown and the white there. Yeah. Let's change these shoes up. Let's get a little white. Do they got a white, or they're all black, huh? Interesting. You'd think white for Mexico City. All right, guys, this is going to be a good one. Mexico City and Portland, number 1 versus number 3, a potential national championship matchup with the playoffs right around the corner. Thank you guys for tuning in and for joining us here on TB Sports 27. We're going to stream for probably about 2.5 hours today here on Twitch. So if you want to join us live as the action happens, we encourage you to do so at twitch.tv/TB Sports 27. Join us and hit the follow button. And we mentioned September. We're actually streaming this on July 2nd. So the USFL Championship just happened last night. But for you guys, it is I don't know if don't think I turned the volume back down from when we were streaming before, but I don't think it's too. I think I can still talk over the commentators. I'll have to review the tape maybe after the fact and see if we turn them back down. But yeah, we are uploading these in September and we're streaming in July. So if you want to get the action early and see it before anybody else, you can do so twitch.tv/TBSports27. But if you want to see the archived stuff, we drop things every day. In fact, I think a new video, let's look right here. We're about to have a new video drop on YouTube right now for our YouTube subscribers, which is all the Twitch VODs. And I'm going to give you guys a little, if you're watching here, I'm going to give you a little bonus. Let's let you know what video is going to drop right now, and it's going to drop in 7 minutes at 1 p.m. We do a lot of 1 p.m. uploads, and then halfway through I switched it to a noon upload schedule. So the video you guys are going to get here, what is today, July 2nd? I just said that, and July 2nd is going to be the second half of the Lamar Jackson Huskies game against the San Francisco Demons, which Lamar Jackson had 190 yards rushing in that one. So hang out with us here, and then when this is over, if you want to watch some RXFL action, if you want to see the Huskies and the Demons go toe-to-toe, you can do that over on our YouTube page. Subscribe over at YouTube at youtube.com/TBSports27 Sports Gaming. Subscribe and thumbs up, and we're going to wrap things up with our Patreon shout-outs. A big thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. Patreon.com/TBSports27. We're constantly uploading bonus content, extra content. You can request what you guys want to see on the channel. You can message us and say, hey, I want to see this if you're one of the higher tiered Patreon members. But you get a lot of bonus extra content. The previous archives from TB Sports 27 are being uploaded right now. So Patreon shout out for our Patreon mega fans. Big thank you to Justin Russell, Jonathan Harrigan, K. Duckman. Oh, look at this run by Herschel Walker. Mr. Maple, thank you guys so much for being Patreon subscribers at the highest level. We do appreciate you. So, still riding. Maybe we can go over a quick injury report because both teams obviously coming into week 16 dealing with some ailments here. Christian McCaffrey hoping to be back for the postseason in just 2 weeks, but you got Herschel Walker in there. And then Arenas Williams as well for the Lumberjacks, who are out with an injury. But once again, by the time the playoffs roll around, especially with that first-round bye, that both of these teams have earned that first-round bye. We'll take a look at the rosters here. Part of our previous league in All-Pro Football 2K8 was the Ann Arbor Annihilators that would often win that first round bye. But this is big business. This is number 1 versus number 3 here, flexed into Monday Night Football and in Mexico City. And that is what Mexico City is trying for. And oh my goodness, can he stay in bounds? What an insane run down the sideline. That's Harold Jackson. Mexico City is hoping with a win this week, a win next week, and a back-to-back loss for the Lumberjacks, which has not happened all year, that would give them home field advantage throughout the postseason. And if these two teams meet up again in a couple of weeks, then it would be right back here in this stadium. But a victory for Portland here would move them to 14-1. And that would pretty much be up to them if they want to rest their starters going into the final week of the regular season, should they get the victory here. So that would pretty much clinch them as the number 1 overall team. And you're looking at this defense of Lance Briggs and Vaughn Johnson, Jarrell Rivas, Emmett Thomas, Eddie Jackson. A dominant group here, but you got two of the best. And we saw Mexico City and Chicago as the first ever game in our XFL history. Slinging Sammy is going to roll out, and he does not have enough. Jarrell Rivas comes in with a lot more speed than Sammy Baugh and gets that sack. So 3rd down and 8. So as we said, you're going to see this one in September in YouTube, but we are streaming July 2nd live on Twitch. So we had the USFL Championship game last night, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Jump in the chat, whether you're watching live with us on Twitch or whether you're watching the replay on YouTube. And, ooh, Mexico City is going to go for it here. Whether you're watching the replay on YouTube, I want to hear your thoughts on the game. My goodness, it was, oh, Herschel Walker just able to get around the pile and pick up the first down. It was quite an interesting game because Pittsburgh, I thought it was going to be almost like, you know, that Bills-Giants Super Bowl, because Pittsburgh is kind of a slow-moving, methodical offense, while Birmingham and Alex Magoo just chunks the ball down the field, just throws the ball. And Pittsburgh had that really big, long opening drive, but the big difference was 4 touchdowns versus 4 field goals. It was Birmingham that was putting the ball in the end zone, but Pittsburgh was not. And you see the 12 points to 28 points. That was the difference there. I mean, it was 4 scores each, but 4 touchdowns versus 4 field goals in that one. And the Maulers had a shot, man. Boy, oh boy, they had the big play, and here's 3rd down because this is going to be a big play. And Sammy, touchdown to Ocho Cinco. And how about an opening drive for Mexico City? For the Maulers, they had the big moment that nearly turned the game around because Birmingham was going for the game-clinching touchdown. And there was the fumble. Alex Magoo fumbled. He made a rough decision to try to scramble back and took the fumble, and you know, one of the big boys on the defensive line picked it up and tried to run it back, and he got gassed, and he handed it off to a much leaner corner, but unfortunately the corner got a little too overzealous and the ball got handed forward instead of backward, so that touchdown got wiped off the board, and Pittsburgh never did get a touchdown in the championship game. But if that play had stood, how different would the momentum have been? Because it would have been, I think, 18-21 or something at that point. So, yeah, it was Pittsburgh played hard, man. I mean, to go from 1-9 the year before and then make it to the championship game the next season, they certainly played their hearts out. But Birmingham is just way too tough of a team. So back-to-back champs, Birmingham Stallions. 1st and 10. Handoff out of the gun to Terrell Davis, and I often call this my Denver Broncos 2.0 team, because you look at all Bronco players that are on this team, past and present, and you look at Rod Smith, Terrell Davis, of course, Russell Wilson in the backfield. It's, yeah, and they're looking like the 98 Broncos with their record that they have to their name. 2nd and 6 here, and the give is to Davis. Wow.
That 2nd down play nets a -4. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys.
Davis got stuffed, didn't he?
GMs are putting together a team. A lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
On 3rd down, Wilson being chased out left. He may try and run for this. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Big stand there by Mexico City.
3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss.
That was a 3-and-out, wasn't it?
They bring their punter out there now.
Portland only suffering 1 defeat on the year so far. Ocho Cinco on your punt return. He's going to spin inwards. And for those of you that are YouTube subscribers, we just dropped it. It's the Huskies and Demons from last week. So do check that out right after this. And then if you get a moment, it's going to be uploaded on YouTube, but you'll want to check out the Huskies and the Redwoods. Perhaps people say one of the greatest games in our XFL history, the way that went down, but not to be overmatched by Dallas and Philadelphia, which is our Patreon game. It's up right now, patreon.com/tvsports27. They had an epic game that may have rivaled what happened between
trying to take a shot.
Sacramento and Toronto.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already?
3rd and 8 as these defenses start to clamp down now.
And even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield.
Hey, you're one
Sammy
team good.
Baugh,
Go ahead and try and
not
push
much
it.
of a runner, but boy, they left that opening.
Taken down, but
They
able
left
to
that wide open there. 1st down.
give him
Golden
10
Eagles.
time escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that 1st down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly.
Sammy going down the field.
Slides when that derriere dips, if you will.
Was he in bounds?
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Out of bounds. Wow, the catch was made, but they say out of bounds. It was Harold Jackson who had the big play earlier in the ball game, earlier in the 1st quarter. Herschel Walker. They haven't gotten too many gives to Walker today. Just number 6 for him.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this
It's been an
size,
insane week in the RXFL. Week 16 has had some of the wildest games, some of the wildest finishes.
maybe not so much in the
And we
second
cap
half,
it off
but
Monday Night Football
runs later.
between number 3 Mexico City and number 1 Portland.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double
1st
team
down
inside.
here. Sammy Baugh rolls out and could not get the release.
Down.
Jay Ratliff. The sack on Sammy Baugh. He was trying. He had the release, but it didn't go.
For several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there.
2nd and 16. Final game of week 16 here. And open is Ocho Cinco. He's made a couple of big plays here today.
Nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes.
He's burning this lumberjack defense.
Down there on a pickup of 20.
Sammy Baugh, you see at the bottom of the screen with that, has passed 4,000 yards on the season. When we get to the end of week 17, we are going to do a final recap of all the stats and standings and all that good stuff. So stay tuned for that here
Gain of
on
7 leaves him with a 2nd
Twitch
and 3.
and on
This will
YouTube.
probably be the last play of the quarter.
We have new followers. Follow us on Twitch, YouTube, not PS4. Baugh, it's knocked down, incomplete.
Incomplete. And with it, time has expired.
So that's the end of the 1st quarter, and it's
After one,
time of possession has been dominated for the home team, Mexico City.
the offense on 3rd down.
3rd and 3 here for the Golden Eagles.
This time it's 3rd
Baugh.
and 3.
Incomplete again.
Knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down. But what
So going for the field goal here for Mexico City, Mark Mosley.
brings up a 4th down decision.
And chip shot is good.
And the lead moves to 10-zip.
10-0 here, Golden Eagles.
On that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts.
Number 1 team in the league. They're going to have to play from behind here.
The tackle, right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean? Break out just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
So here are visitors to take over on offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dive.
Russell Wilson going empty set here. And the blitz, wow.
A nice looking
So they went empty set, and Mexico City commits to the blitz.
first drive, things already looking better here. 1st and 10.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere. In the
They tore him
slot,
up.
Out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
There's a 1st down that they were missing on the last drive there. Now they got everyone backed up, and it is Terrell Davis.
They'll get only a couple.
Oh, he ran right into Webster. Davis just 2 yards so far on the ground.
About with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
I formation again. Wilson.
Wilson.
Dancing around, and he's got Schofner for the first down.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I think it all came together there. In breaking route.
So Russell Wilson getting this one together here. They knew they had to answer on this drive because it was going to start to get away from him. Draw to Davis. Just a couple there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one will swallow.
Still can't get TD going.
Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to Davis, and still, wow. When have you ever seen Terrell Davis stuffed like this?
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
You switch it up a bit, try to get someone else in there.
Really, the offensive line not helping him much. Throwing is
Wilson steps up, and there is Rod Smith, and the Lumberjacks are getting ready to put that one across the goal line.
Sets up a 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting.
But it's going to be up to TD. Either they got to throw it in here, or Terrell Davis got to try to punch this one in.
They got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
And they get him again. Wow.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who
you just got to throw it at this point.
He usually ends up having to take at least 2. And most of the time,
look at that. They're going to bring the heat. So you got a quick one here. Might be your touchdown. There it is. Oh, some pushing and grabbing. But Schofner gets it. Touchdown, Lumberjacks. And we got a game on Monday night between number 1 and number 3.
They've started the ascent here with that score.
I like that, right? I think they've left base camp now, okay? So they've started to move their way up the mountain. Long way to go, but at least they know it's manageable.
Long way to go. It's a 3-point game. Did you hear, Charles? It's a long way to go. Extra point is good. Cam Newton holds. And every drive has been pretty successful now for Mexico City if they keep up the pace, but they don't want to pull a Pittsburgh Maulers and start trading field goal for touchdown here.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So here is the home side to take over on offense. And they had 3 points last time.
Sammy Baugh takes this one from the gun. Quick throw out to George Kittle, who it says right at home in Mexico City. Good friends with Penta, El Zero Miero. I think Penta might be at the game right now, in fact. Might be in the crowd here. This is a big one. Not only a chance to knock off number 1, but a chance to get that home field advantage throughout the postseason and host the national championship game here. You're seeing it's tough. You're going to look at a lot of the scores at the bottom of your screen. It's been a very high-scoring week, but when you're looking at 2 of the best teams, even if you got a good offense, you're playing against a really tough defense. Herschel Walker does get the first down, though. He's kind of putting Terrell Davis to shame, I hate to say.
They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space.
They fake it, and Sammy Baugh, Chad Ochocinco. They got to double team him or something because he is eating up the Lumberjacks.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have
Sammy Baugh.
you're going to him, even if he has
Oh my goodness, that was a Jackson again who has kind of had some good plays, but that was a dangerous one because that got wobbled around and could have been intercepted by the Lumberjacks. 2nd and 10, straight up the gut is Herschel Walker. And he's got about 15, 16 yards on the ground and will pick up the first down. Look at his numbers, and Mexico City continuing to roll here.
He's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Sammy gets rid of it. It is, oh my God, it's going to be picked off. And it is going to go all the way for a pick six. What happened on that play? I need to see the replay, or we get a challenge or something.
Now remember, this is the #1
88 yards.
There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the balls.
I want to get a different angle of that. Did that corner just like zap back? Man, you want to talk about a heartbreaker. Let's look at this again. So Sammy's feeling the heat here. He just turned around number 20. I don't have a number 20 on my card, so I don't know who the heck. Wolford. Look at this. Oh, are you telling me there's some cheating going on here? Look at that. Look at that. He's running. Oh, that's a little, I don't know. And it's a one-handed. We'll say there was a controversial call that led to that one, because there's no way. I mean, the way this is going, not only should that have probably been pass interference because he slammed right into him, but to him to stop on a dime, go back. I mean, that's some Madden trickery right there. And then, did he make the grab? Immaculate reception? I mean, he sure did. Wow. Fans aren't happy here in Mexico City. They're getting rowdy, and it's a bit of a controversial play to give the #1 team in the league the lead here.
And that makes it 14-10. So
14-10 on the pick six on a bit of controversy.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick
Pat
six.
McAfee
Now the kick is away.
down the field, and Herschel Walker on the return gets it up to the 34.
Pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
So there's the team right there. Walker, or I should say Ocho Cinco, and Sammy Baugh, and you're looking at it. The stuff that Ocho Cinco has done today. I think 4 or 5 catches. But for all their success, and look at the total yards, it's Portland with the lead. Leonard Fournette comes in, third string. Does he really have 3 rushes?
Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
Sammy Baugh back to pass and knocked away.
They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Now, meanwhile, here's a
So 3rd and 3 here for Mexico City.
and incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up.
There's your first down, and it's Chad Ocho Cinco once again. That's number 5.
A first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans.
Ball drops back, and looking for Kittle, incomplete.
You're doing something right.
Bounces off the fingertips of George Kittle there. Staying with a pretty consistent passing game here. I mean, there is almost 2 minutes left in the second, so I guess you really can't get into a running mode here. And Ball's going to go down the field for Jackson, and that one's incomplete. They've covered Jackson. I guess they're double teaming Jackson and leaving Ocho Cinco wide open. That's what they're doing down there. So 3rd and 3. Ball going to make some movement here. He'll take the snap. He's going to roll out and try to run this one, and he just gets made into a ham sandwich right there, crushed into the turf. So they're at the 50-yard line on 4th and 4.
And we'll remind you the
And they will punt this one away.
Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
And that one will drop into the end zone.
And that one hits a little too close.
So Portland, a big opportunity right here to go up 21-10.
Starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
Russell Wilson, he throws it to Schofner. Oh, Schofner got hit.
Kind of cantering around a little bit, right? Trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap.
How about Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson being back together with all these Broncos? Wilson down the field to Terrell Davis.
Inside the 30. And he's able to get this.
And this is why the Portland Lumberjacks, the brown and red, are the #1 team in the league. They are showing it right now.
Just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Wilson, 7 for 7, hooking up with Rod Smith.
He will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Back-to-back nice plays. 12
Russell
yards
Wilson
that time
in
on first down.
the zone.
So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Again, Wilson.
And Wilson,
Left. And he's
oh my goodness, takes the shot.
on the scramble there, gets him 6. And then
Portland will
they
take a timeout.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Portland clinches the #1 seed, home field throughout the playoffs with the victory. Possible national championship preview. #1 versus #3, and Wilson is sacked.
At the 9-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. As
George
they stop with
Webster.
just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
But the sack may have helped out the Lumberjacks. It just gives them more room to work with here.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson.
Rod Smith could not get into the end zone.
Maybe by about a yard, if that.
Mexico City takes a timeout. So what do you do if you're Portland?
Timeouts.
Do you go for it
34 seconds to
or
go
kick the
before
field goal,
halftime.
make it a 7-point game, knowing this is the top 2 teams, or you go for it, and if you make it, great. If you don't make it, I mean, Mexico City's got to go a lot of yards in a short period of time. They are going to go for it, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen a couple of gutsy calls here in this ball game so far, and Russell Wilson is just going to run it in. The Golden Eagles caught napping. Touchdown, Lumberjacks.
Here in this first half. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
The defense was almost too good on that play. They took away all of his targets. The one thing they
Where
forgot
was everybody? They left Russell Wilson wide open.
and go for the end zone and get it done.
Now the
How
extra
has this game just turned in this first half? And guys, you're going to want to stay tuned for the second half. If you're watching this one on Twitch, we're going to be back with you in a couple minutes. We're going to be streaming both the Week 16 conclusion, the Week 16 wrap-up show, and Week 17's first game of the week. All here today. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to get this over the next 5 days. So do come back and join us tomorrow, because you're going to want to see how #1 versus #3 ends up.
pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
So with 2 timeouts and 26 seconds for Mexico City,
Score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got
kind of left wondering how they're going to play this one.
I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor.
They are going to throw it here. Everyone is covered. Sammy finally gets rid of it, and it's incomplete to Kittle.
With a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing.
Now they're going to spread out. They went play fake the first go around. They're going to spread out here. Sammy Baugh looking for anything, and he's going to go down the field to Herschel Walker, and it's incomplete. So in 9 seconds, I think you're down to basically Hail Mary mode here.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a third.
And you just hope there's not going to be a pick six.
Operating from the gun.
Ball is looking for the man that's done it all today, Ocho Cinco. And, well, 4th and 10, so why not one more time? Yeah, even the game says just do a Hail Mary.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Back to throw. Ball going up top for Kupp.
Looking for Cooper Kupp. It is incomplete. All right, guys, that is going to do it here for the first half. Number 1 versus number 3. Do come back and join us for part 2 on YouTube. It comes tomorrow on Twitch. It comes in less than 30 seconds. Do come back for the second half. Follow with us on Twitch, subscribe and thumbs up on YouTube. Check us out at patreon.com/TBSports27. Do come back for the second half. RXFL number 1 versus number 3. We'll see you guys tomorrow.